All right, here we go. Uh, just don't have a specific meditation for this morning. Actually, we'll start in a moving meditation eventually. But if you just want to close your eyes for the time being, and coming into the thought of your own daily practice, every other daily practice, maybe every third day, maybe it's just once a week, whatever that practice is for you, reflecting and thinking on your commitment to it. Soften your breath towards that commitment and have some compassion for yourself. Soften your thoughts. Comfort yourself. It's okay if you don't always get done what you want to get done in your practice daily or weekly. A commitment to a practice is not always easy, but when we do show up, it's fulfilling. Even if it turns into 3 minutes a day, sometimes 3 minutes the next day can turn into 6 and to 9, and maybe then by the following weeks it's half an hour. But just having that willingness to catch the day before it catches you, to show up in the morning, or maybe for you a daily practice is the evening. Developing habits, making these little changes to ourselves. We have to practice causing positive change, which is also known as tapas, Tapas in yoga. In order to make those changes, we have to take action. Sitting around and trying to neurologically manifest the change doesn't work. We have to download in a meditation the answers to what we need to do, and then we have to act. So continue to breathe in, to reflect on your daily practice. Any thoughts that come up, if they're negative, accept the negative and take a positive spin on it. And then just to finish my trains of thought on what that commitment is on a daily basis. The part of the course that I took a couple weeks ago, they showed how in the brain, the brain fluid, the spinal fluid, they showed in a like an electronic magnetic computer screen how the spinal fluid actually comes up from the cord and flushes and literally washes the brain out as you sleep. So if you can visualize like fluid moving all in and around your brain and cleansing it right now. And if you don't get that proper sleep, that sleep is a practice. Sleep is also a commitment to yourself for healing, and that's when your brain does a lot of healing is during sleep. Because if you can see that now, that washing of the brain, and then it returns and moves and circulates through the whole system, right? The liver cleanses, and the other organs are all working together to cleanse. Even at night, we get that healing in the brain, but we have to integrate the night, the sleep. We have to integrate our day with the sleep too. So we have to have the daily practice in order to help all the healing to weave the night healing and the day healing together. So now focusing further on making just a very slight change for yourself to your tapas, that practice causing positive change. What is your commitment today? What is your sankalpa? And as you're ready, you can come on up to your feet. We're going to start standing, moving, standing, furthering this breath, this meditation into a movement pattern with a mountain pose, bringing the arms up, the palms together, the fingers connected, the feet firmly rooted. Move your feet around widen your foot on the ground, the connection, the foundation. Spread your toes. Take your feet a little bit wider than your hips so that you have this space at the sacral joint as we go down into a forward fold. It's a very slow moving. Lead with the hands, lead with the heels of the hands down into a prayer, and then begin to follow through. Down into that forward fold with a bend in the knees. Drop the hands to meet the earth and allow for the head to really create traction in the neck. And as you're ready, bring the hands back together and peel your way up to standing slow and steady. So we're finding an integration of the breath into the spine. We're moving the hands up again above the head, reaching, stretching taller, and then bringing them back down, leading the heels of the hands towards the earth and following through with the head towards the earth. Let the hands release, meet the mat, stretch the arms out, walk the hands a little further away from the feet this time. Kind of like a compact down dog. Hands back together, inhale, rise up. Reaching, extending, meeting the sky with the fingers, plugging the fingers into the air. Coming back down, guiding the hands. Feel an evenness between the shoulders and the elbows to the forward folds. Now taking a moment to move the knees and the hips side to side, putting more pressure, more weight into one foot or the other. Feel the hips sway back and forth, the fingertips tented, spider fingertips connected to the mat. Back into center. This time, inhale, lift up halfway, gliding the hands along the shins. Keep the knees slightly bent so you don't hyperextend those hamstrings. Down again, glide along the shins. Place the hands on the tops of the feet and drop the head. Elbows nice and wide here. Folding in on your legs, looking between your legs. Nod the head, yes. Big breath in as you lift up. Big breath out as you drop. Keep nodding the head, yes. Saying yes to your commitment, to your practice, to your day. Now begin to rise back up. Reach the arms again above the head. Press the palms together. Inhale, extend. Let the hands go and comb through your aura. Down until the hands clasp at the base of the spine. Interlace them. Roll the shoulders back. Pull the heart forward. Careful not to overextend the spine though. We don't want any pinching or pain in the shoulders or down the spine. Holding here in this yoga mudra. If your head feels comfortable to drop back, begin to bend the knees first and then hinge down forward through the hips. Let the hands go up. Keep them clasped. Hang that head. And then begin to sway side to side. A little weight in one foot, a little weight in the other. Bending the knees. And the shoulders will roll side to side through the air. The hands in a tick-tock motion. The breath following. Or maybe you're leading with your breath and the body's following. Some of us come to the breath first. Some of us find the breath afterwards. If we're too deep in the posture, the breath never comes. It's stagnant. It gets stuck. Back to the center. Keep the hands connected. Rich bend in the knees. Just pull up halfway. Bring the hands down to the sacrum. Round in the tailbone. Release the hands, come into a chair. Arms up above the head. Bring the hands back together into prayer. Hold it here. Rock forward and back, heels to toes, balls of the feet to the heels. And come back to flatten and widen those feet. Push really firm through the feet and rise up to stand. Reaching above, stretching long. Rise onto the balls of the feet if you want. Come back down to heart center. I'm going to take a moment, take my sweater off. We're going to do some sun salutations. Hands together. Inhale up. Exhale and fold. Lengthen up halfway. Exhale. Hands connect. Right leg back. Stay high in your lunge, supporting with your hands. If you need to drop your knee, go ahead. But I'm just encouraging you to keep your knee off of the mat. Looking ahead. Feeling the length in the back of the neck all the way down to your sacrum. Taking the time now, pushing the hands, left leg back into a plank, either long arms, long legs, or the kneeling plank. And lowering down on through. Pressing into an up dog. Lifting the head last. Exhale and take it back into a downward dog. Use your core. Push back through. Hips to the sky. Walk out that dog side to side. Come back into the center. Swing the right leg up into the air. Extend it long first. Push into the heels of the hand. Then bring that right knee forward. Squeeze it forward. Step forward. High lunge here. Hold it. Let your hips sink into the earth. Let gravity do some work. Weight into that front foot. Float the back foot up briefly. Bring it forward. And step to the forward fold. Exhale. Inhale, half. Exhale, fold. Rise to stand up. The back is warm. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, come together, forward fold. Lengthen up half. And then take that left leg back. Strong feet supporting a stable foundation for the rest of the body. Right leg steps back into a kneeling or a high plank, your choice. Take a breath or two here. Slow down your heart rate. It wants to increase. Breathe slower and lower. Lower down. Push the earth away. Then rise up to the cobra or the up dog. Exhale through onto downwards facing dog. Walk it out that down dog side to side. Feel the movement in your legs, that your gait, your motion, your walking motion. Everybody has a very specific gait. You can usually tell a person by their walk if you know them well. Center and take the left leg up high, extend it, pushed into the heels of the hands, lengthen out the body. Bring that knee foot forward and step into the lunge. Settle the hips. Strong in the front leg. Float that back right leg up briefly. Pause in that warrior 3 and then step to the forward fold. Exhale. Inhale, half. Fold, exhale. Rise up. Salute. Reach out behind you. Hands together, heart center. Forward fold on through. Inhale up half. As you exhale, hands connect. Step your feet back. Bring the knees to the mat into all fours. Exhale, round into cat. Inhale into cow. Now pause in center. Make sure your toes are tucked. Walk your hands a little further away from your knees. So you might have to reset yourself. So you have more space between your knees and your hands. Cat, again, round that spine. So the arms are a little bit longer now. Now, lift the knees off and come into a plank. Lifting the head, a little bit of a tilt in the buttocks, like you were in a cow position, but you're in that plank. Drop the knees back down. Round the spine into cat. Inhale, lift up, come off the knees. Nice long arm plank. Exhale, drop the knees, find your cat, round the spine. Inhale, lift off. Find the length. Exhale and round into the cat. One more. Inhale, come off the knees. If you'd like to lift right leg up and off of the mat, please go ahead. As we will, you can hold it here. If you're not holding it here though, what we'll do anyways is bring this right knee foot forward, placing the knee between the hands, coming down into a tiger stretch. You can keep your hands up near your knee, or you can walk them back a little bit further so you're more upright, or you can take the hands right off and create some tiger claws. Make sure your low back isn't in any stress. Returning the hands to the mat, placing them down gently. Tuck that back long left leg, toes underneath, and lift the shin and the knee of the right foot off of the mat and hover here for a moment. Then step that right leg back into the plank and switch. If you like momentarily here to hover and hold this left leg up in the air for a bit, or stay in the plank with both feet, as we'll be bringing this left shin forward, placing it into tiger. Find your tiger version that's best. Make sure you're nice, balanced, and comfortable wherever you are. And returning the hands back down to the mat. Tuck the back right foot, toes underneath. Lift off in the left shin for a moment. Abs are strong. Elbows are slightly bent, so you're not hyperextending the arms. Step the left leg back to plank. And just move forward and back a few times so you're hinging at the heel joint. Pointing and flexing the feet, but the toes are tucked underneath. Come back to center. Take the knees nice and wide. Lower into a child's pose. Arms extended long, please. Nice long arms. Forehead to the mat. If your forehead is able to reach the mat, give it a little massage. So shake your head no, right to left. So you're massaging your forehead on the floor. Arms are long. Open up your armpits. Lots of emotions stuck in our armpits. If you're ever feeling stressed or overwhelmed, give your armpits a massage. It's amazing the freedom you experience. Emotional freedom. Coming back to center now, lifting your head up, making sure you can really walk your hands further away from your knees, so that as you bring the bum up off of the mat, you can tuck your toes under, lift your bum up into a dolphin position, so it's forearmed down dog. Deep breaths here. Now staying in this dolphin posture, just walk your feet back a little bit further. So the heels will be higher off the mat, but you still have this dolphin. Maybe a little more weight is in your elbows. Then bring the weight over top of your forearms. So you're just shifting the body forwards. into a forearm plank, lowering the knees first, then the hips, flatten the tops of the feet, and lift and inhale to Sphinx. Nod the head yes a few times, up and down. Notice anything that's happening in the upper vertebrae, anything up past the shoulder blades. Does your neck move freely? Is it stuck on one side or the other? Now, inhale, lift the head up, tuck the toes again. You might want to walk your toes a little bit closer to your knees so that as you inhale, you push off into the forearms, then you exhale through and send up into dolphin again. Walk those feet a little bit closer to the elbows and walk out those hips, walk out those knees. Get groovy. And then begin to walk the feet away from the elbows again, so that as you pause in center, you bring the shoulders over the forearms, lower the knees down, the hips down, inhale up to Sphinx. Stay in a nice Sphinx here. Neutral mind, static body, just a moving breath. We'll give the arms, the biceps, the shoulders a break by placing the forehead down onto the mat, extending the arms out wide, palms down. Place the forehead to the mat and roll it right to left. Move the neck side to side. Probably feel a good stretch through your bicep. Good nerve stretch. Come back to center, returning the forearms into the Sphinx. Tuck the toes back under. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, push through. Lift back up into dolphin. Last dolphin here, but this is a little bit more fun. We can explore putting even more weight onto the forearms by lifting one leg up into the air and lifting up in the head. So it's sort of a half scorpion position. Drop that leg, drop the head. Inhale, lift the head and lift the other leg. Bend that leg, heels reaching for the head. And return, knees down. Take a child's pose, rest the arms. You can walk the hands off to one side, into sideline. Open up the side body. Other side. Opposite side body. Loosen the lung. Loosen the intercostal breath muscles. Relax the breath. Make some shape shifts, some shape changing. Make some changes in your body. Come back into the middle. Allow for the hands to glide in towards the knees. Inhale, lift and rise so you're seated on your heels in a rock position. Then very slowly bring the hands behind you, walking the hands away as far as feels good for you. If you'd like to lower all the way down into a hero, go ahead. Or if you want to just go halfway, having the elbows bent, letting the head rest on the cushion of the shoulder blades. Or maybe you're lowering just onto the forearms, still dropping the head, or perhaps you can go right on down to hero. Can't see anybody, so I assume most of you are close down on the floor. Long, deep breaths. Focus on your navel point. If you're not supporting your hands with behind you and you're in full hero, place your hands on your belly. And feel if the breath is smooth or if it's shaky. Even if you're supporting yourself halfway, you can still feel if the breath is smooth. One more big breath in. As you exhale, start to push and walk into the elbows, into the hands, very carefully engaging the core and lifting your head up, coming up slowly without getting dizzy. Come back to sit on your heels. We'll interlace the hands, we'll stretch them up into the air, palms facing the ceiling. Roll the shoulders back a little bit, sit tall, engaged core. A smooth, relaxed breath. With the exhale, lift the right knee up, hook the interlaced hands underneath the knee, and lower that knee down. Now, hands are underneath the right knee towards the shin. What you want to try to do is you're kind of rotating the right shoulder up and away from the knee as the knee pushes into the hand. You'll feel an interesting stretch through the back. And let it go. Release, keep the hands connected, flip the palms back up to the ceiling. Deep breath in, long in the arms. With the exhale, left knee lifts, hands hook under that knee, lower it down. And then begin to rotate, lifting the left shoulder up, and you're sort of spinning your hips a little bit. And you should feel something happening through the left side of the back. Maybe around your ribs, up into and around the shoulder blade. Letting go, lift that knee up a bit, release the hands, flip them up, keep them interlaced, connected. Exhale, hands come down, meeting the mat just off on an angle past your knees. And a kneeling cat-cow motion. So you're staying sitting on your heels, spine flexes. Where did everybody go? Everybody's having bad internet this morning. Is it that hard of a class? Oh. Just staying here for a moment as people come back. I think people are just having internet problems. Yeah. We're just doing a kneeling cat-cow. We're sitting on the heels, moving the spine. You can slow it down. You can speed it up just to let people come back into class. Maybe I hope it's not my internet. And take a moment now just to lower down completely into a relaxed child's pose. The knees are nice and close together, so you have plenty of cushioning. Hands return. Lift and press yourself to downwards facing dog with a big exhale. Find your preferred stance for downwards dog. As you come into what is your down dog, take 3 breaths here, and then if there's a change or a shift you need to make, then make that change. Try closing your eyes in downward dog and feeling your body. And then feeling if you need to make any changes or little micro adjustments. Last deep breath, last chance to change. Inhale the right leg up. Step the right leg forward into a lunge again. High lunge, knees off the mat. Shift the hips back into a pyramid. So feet are tracking forward. Widen your stance. My stance, the outer edge of my foot is on the meeting the edge of my mat. and I have enough room between my feet that I can send my hips back evenly. So it's not, one hip's not too far forward. There, it feels like both hips are going back together, even though one leg is much further ahead than the other. Now the option here, hands can come up into prayer at the chest. Hands can go up behind the back in a reverse prayer. You can take a yoga mudra if you would like. Or you can just keep the hands on the mat. Deep breaths here. This is great for your low back. This is one posture that's really actually helped fix my low back. Return the hands to the mat, up to the top corners of the mat. Step down into another lunge again. Lower the back long, the knee, the long leg, but lower that knee down to the mat. And we're going to spin, pivot on this front foot. So we're walking our hands towards the long leg. We're just spinning and finding Skandasana. So this knee is now up near the chest. The long leg, the heel of the long leg, the toes are pointing up, the heel's connected. Again, you can come into a prayer, or if you'd like, you can take a bind and you can wrap the right hand around inside the shin and reach the left hand behind the back. Then try and sit up tall in the spine. Or if that's too deep, you can be up high with hands down on the floor and the bum high. Letting go, we're continuing on towards the long leg, so we're spinning towards the back of the mat. Dropping this right knee down to the mat into a lunge. So you're facing the back of your mat now, and you're in a kneeling lunge. Now come off that back right knee. Extend the hips into a pyramid. Take the edges of your feet to the edges of your mat. Find that hand position, hopefully similar as what you did in pyramid on the other side at the front of your mat. So hands in a prayer either at the chest and behind the back, or the hands just on the mat. Center and shift your hips. Deep breaths of commitment into making those changes. Staying in the postures longer is hard. It's just as hard as moving quickly through them. Return the hands to the mat. Come back down into this lunge, this kneeling lunge. Again, we're going to pivot. So we're pivoting, we're returning the pivot now into Skandasana. Pivot towards your long right leg. Hold here in this rich knee bend, elbows wide, palms together. Or if you need to be up a little bit higher, supporting the Skandasana with your hands. Continue on back to the front of your mat. And step to downwards dog once you reach the front of your mat. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. We'll just move the other direction. So walk out your dog if you'd like to. Take a child's pose, stay in dog, or flow through. Go ahead. Leaning back in down dog, left leg up into the air. Step the left leg forward to a lunge first. Stay high in your lunge. Now extend the hips back into pyramid. Take the feet to the outer edges of the mat, or where's good for your hips. Like my hips are different than your hips for size and mobility and hands where they are preferred, where it feels good on your back, on your breath, on your legs. Last inhale. With the exhale, hands connect. Step yourself into a lunge. Then spin and pivot into Skandasana. So you're just moving towards the right, opening up, rolling onto the heel of the long leg. Other way, Mary. To your right, Mary. To your right. To your right. To your... There you go. Yes. Now bend that left knee. And a little bit longer in your right leg. Continue on towards your right leg, towards the back of your mat. A little bit more of a pivot into a lunge. Your choice for a lunge, whether it's a kneeling lunge or up off the knee. Shoot the hips up into the air, into a pyramid. Wiggling and setting the feet where it feels good, where there's even pressure on your feet. Facing the back of your mat, find those hands together somewhere in front or behind, and connect to the breath, the steadiness, the constant flow, and the constant flux of the heartbeat, of the circulatory system, enriching your blood with oxygen, prana, life force. Inhale, exhale, return. Drop the knee to a lunge. And we're pivoting and returning, but first come into the Skandasana. So we're swiveling to the left. We're swiveling to the inside of our body, towards that long left leg. Skandasana first. Either prayer, find a bind, or be up. Letting go, walking forward. Once you meet the front of the mat, take a down dog. Stay in dog, take child's pose or flow. Turn to child's pose. We're almost finished the hard stuff. Three-legged dog, lift that right leg up into the air, bend the right knee, look under the right armpit. Exhale, sweep it through for pigeon. Set your pigeon. Stay high in your pigeon first as you're setting yourself up, allowing the hips to settle in. Once you feel at ease and comfortable, if you feel like lowering down, one hand on the other, elbows wide. Just invite you down for a moment of rest, restoration. Drawing the chin in towards the chest, the forehead, perhaps on the top of the hand. Option to stay here or to return, lifting the head up and coming and finding a king pigeon. King pigeon being you're reaching with the same hand towards the back foot, back leg, connecting with the toes of the ankle and stretching out that left quad. Or you can just stay and enjoy a resting pigeon. If you're in king pigeon, let go of that back foot. Place the hands, walk them a little bit closer to your front right leg. And then just roll slightly onto your right hip. As you roll onto your right hip, draw your left knee, bend it, and bring it up towards your right heel. Place the right hand down beside your right hip, lean into the shins, and lift up. Send the hips high, open that navel. Keep breathing. Exhale, return down, hands at the front of the mat. Lengthen along through that back left leg. We're keeping our front right foot where it is, and we're lifting the hips up and back. So as you lift up and back, both feet are tracking along the far left side of your mat. So you have like an inline pyramid. As if you were going into triangle now, open your back left foot. It might come off of the mat. So the left foot's perpendicular to the right. and we revolve the triangle. So left hand, if you have a block, place it on the block or take it up to your shin and then peel open with the right body, with the right hand up. You probably feel twisted because you're over at the far side of your mat, which is not, we're not used to that. Exhale, come back down. Inhale, shift the hips towards the back of the mat, open up for a normal triangle. It's like we're on edge. What's your edge? Are you at your max right now? Exhale, back down. Hands connect. Down dog. Stay in dog. Take a child's pose. Take a flow. Whatever you want. Returning to downwards dog. Left leg to the air. Three-legged dog open. Stack the hips. Look under the shoulder. Pigeon. Come through. Settle in. Finding your best pigeon posture. Taking some time in it. Option to stay or to lift up, reaching towards the back right foot. Same hand to king pigeon. I find sometimes I actually have to walk my knee away from my heel in order to get it right. Or to feel good in my hips. Tends to be some shifting that happens when moving between them. If you're there, let that foot go gently. Roll and shift onto that left hip a little bit. Draw the right knee up towards the heel. Left hand behind and roll to the shins. Open up the navel. Exhale, come back down. Find length in the back leg again. So that as you lift the hips up, the feet are one in line in front of the other, off on the right side of your mat, along the edge of your the right edge of your mat. Back foot becomes perpendicular with the front, so the back foot pivots off the mat. The right hand crosses over to the left leg. Revolve that triangle. Draw the left hand high. Particularly awkward, but very interesting in the body, in the spine, and the hips. Exhale down. Move into a normal triangle. Opening up. Exhale down. Hands to the mat. Downwards dog. One last flow here. Make it count. Make it a good one. And end yourself into child's pose after the flow. You have to shift your body a little bit. It's kind of hard to explain, but what we want to do is find the crown of our head on the earth. As we do that, we can invite our hands through and in between our legs, reaching for the outside of the feet, not the inside. So the hands going outside the feet. As the crown of the head comes to the mat, your bum will lift. And you get a very interesting stretch in between your shoulder blades. Relax your belly. Let it just breathe. Let it hang. Let it go. Come on to tabletop for a moment here. Then set yourself into down dog. Then step your right leg forward. Now as you begin to lift and stand and rise up, you're sweeping your left leg forward. You're reaching for your left toes. You're rising and you're standing. Hand of the right side can go to the hip. The left leg's out long and in front. You're gripping the toes, the big toe with your peace fingers. If you'd like to open up this left leg to the side, counterbalance and open the right arm. Woohoo! We haven't done this one in a while. We're rusty. And guiding with the hand, bring the foot in for tree. I have a ceiling. I caught myself on the ceiling. Hands together into tree. The tree grows so slowly. 1 ring per year. These little changes inside of the tree that happen, and the tree changes with the seasons. It's committed. It's steadfast. It's not going anywhere, but it's always changing. Let that leg go. As it comes down to the earth, kick it back. Send the hands to the mat. I think this is our last down dog. I think I said that before, and I'm sorry. Left leg come forward. As you begin to rise, sweep that right leg on through. Catch the big toe of your right foot with your peace fingers. Extend that leg out in front of you with the left hand on the hip. Option here to open it up to the side. Don't give up, Diana. And as you're ready, center of balance is in your belly button. If you have to put the hand there to find your tree. Grow that tree taller with each breath. Exhale. Hands to the mat. Kick that leg back. Come down onto your knees. Take the knees off to one side of the mat. Shoot those legs forward. Roll onto your back. Roll out your back. Give the spinal fluid a chance to move. If you'd like to rock yourself over into a plow, having the hands clasped and away from the body, maybe you have the hands on your kidneys. Maybe you're just in a half plow, or if you'd like from plow to elevate the legs to shoulder stand. You can also just play with some splits. You can be in candle and just split the legs, or you can be in shoulder stand and bicycle and split the legs. Be strong in the center in your solar plexus. Squeeze the buttocks. One final plow. Walk the legs wide in the plow. Let gravity slowly pull you down. Fight it, but let it win. A happy baby, or nice wide legs. A cobbler, bringing the heels and the soles of the feet together, wrapping the hands around the toes, cupping the toes, pulling the chin and the head forward towards the feet, the knees wide. So you're balanced on the lower sacral quadrant. Returning the head to the earth. Let the left foot leg go long. Keep the right hand in the right foot. Half happy baby here. Place the left hand behind the head. Push into the right hand. Look down towards the left toes. And switch. Left hand holding the left foot, right leg long, hand behind the head, right hand behind the head. Lower the head, bring both feet up and right near your bum. We're not doing bridge, but we just need to have the feet close to the bum, but the feet wide, like to the edge of the mat, either edge of the mat. So you can get so close, you have to use your balls of your feet to get really close to your bum. Then drop the knees off to one side. So I'm going to my right side first. Dropping my knees to the right side, the left arm going way above and off of the mat. Really stretching my left hand away from my left knee, but knees are off to the right. Right hand can do what it wants. Maybe put it on the navel and just feel your breath. Make sure you're breathing. The diaphragm, the belly will expand as you breathe in, and it will deflate as you breathe out. Roll back to center. Just wobble your knees right to left in the air without completely dropping them. And then walk the feet nice and close to the bum again. Drop them off to the left side. Right hand goes up and off the mat beyond. Left hand on the navel. And breathe. Back to center. And just accentuate this windshield wiper right to left. Any other little exercises you like to complete your practice with, go ahead. I hope that wasn't too hard, but it was certainly a little bit challenging here and there. But we aren't going to make any changes if we're not challenged, right? I, for one, don't like to break a sweat. I know how good it feels, but I hate breaking a sweat. That's my confession for the day. So yeah, I think yesterday I really broke a sweat hard because I knew I had to, because I was teaching to this today and I knew I had to make a change. As you're ready, enter into the hardest posture of all, the hardest asana of all. I'll read a little bit of a few little excerpts, a few little quotes here and there from my favorite teacher, Guru Jagat, who has since passed on, but left us with a beautiful book and a lot of life lessons, and I often use her as a resource. So whether that practice is a cold shower, a strong yoga set, or a meditation that you just don't want to do, you're basically making your system get stronger. Daily practice is not comfortable, nor should it be. But it gives you the conviction to know that you can do anything and face anything, any stress, any strain. You already woke up and you already won. Basically, a lot of healing happens during sleep. However, if you don't get up and direct the energy in a certain way, then the healing that happens during sleep doesn't know how to be utilized properly. So that kind of goes along with what I was saying in the beginning about how I witnessed the spinal fluid washing the brain. The brain organically and primally it works that way in sleep. But if we don't counterbalance it during the waking hours with meditation and with yoga and with practice and good habits, then the healing that happens in sleep isn't maximized. The subconscious mind and all of its quagmires, they have a particular pace. So we use the movement or the kriya or the mudra or the sound current or the mantra to create a velocity in us that is faster than any speed of weird neurosis or unhappiness. That's what the practice does. And the practice creates a velocity that will catapult us beyond the pace of those funny subconscious quagmires we have, the habits of self-hatred, loathing, whatever it is in you that you still are always wanting to fine-tune. And so finally, tapas or making positive change or having a personal practice gives us a running start. So you can catch the day before the day catches up with you. Looking ahead into your day, start to move your body on your mat in ways that are refreshing, in ways you haven't moved yet today. Give yourself compassion and love. Reevaluate your commitment, any plans you have for the day. then reawaken your body, stretch your body, move your hips side to side, and then pick that preferred side. And fetal up. Fetal position to upright seated. And sitting just quietly in reflection of your daily practice, of what it means to you, how it fulfills you, how you make more space for what lives inside of you, what you need to get rid of, and invite new in. How you're integrating the day with the night, the good with the bad, the old with the new. Any other polarities or opposites you want to rattle off in your brain. And we can see those polarities in life. We can live in a more neutral minded space so that we can heal and help others heal. Bring your hands into prayer posture. Find the thumbs gently resting at the sternum, right in front of your heart, and a little bit to the left, to the right. I'm all mixed up. Just feel the heartbeat off from one side of your hands. You're welcome to unmute yourself. As we reverberate that sound current on it, let it move through you and penetrate into others around you. Namaste.
Namaste.
And, thanks for coming today.
Great class, Lindsay.
Thank
Good.
you. How's your hip, Marilyn?
Oh, it's about the same.
Is
Same
it?
thing. Yeah. Hip and knee, right knee. You do.
Sounds
Work
like
through
getting
it.
you know that old song that we
Yeah.
used to
Yeah. I think I know what you're talking about.
sing? Oh, I hope it's better
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, it's just,
everybody.
yes, it was great.
Thank you,
So
Lindsay.
when do you, bye, Lindsay. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
Have
Bye.
a good day.
Yeah.
You too.
Thank you. Thanks. That was so
Good. Thank you.
thank you. So yeah. Good to get back to some of the tribe.
You see my notes? These are my notes. They're on the back of a pizza box.
Oh, so good that for the pizza and for the notes. Perfect. That was a good class. Thank you.
In the shape of how the words were written that cues me in.
Yum. Thanks, Lindsay.
Thanks, Lindsay.
Welcome.
My
Have you
my
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead,
Go
Linda.
ahead.
Oh, you go ahead, Diana.
Well, I was just going to ask Lindsay, have you ever had a pizza with the cauliflower crust?
I have. Yeah, they're good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna stop the recording. Yeah, they're quite